Here we go, the first quiz of 2026. Quizmasters, Gary and Joe, welcome! There's your rules. If two teams have their hands up, I'll give them more time. If it's just one team with their hand up, we'll carry on. Shout out clue if you think nobody's got the answer, and no clue if your team has. Okay, we got rounds, misconceptions, hit bands and songs, connections, one word to rule them all. Picture round of tourist attractions. Oh no, that's not picture round, that's the continents round. And here we go. Black panthers and black panthers are not separate species. They are black fur type of which big cat? There are two correct answers. I'll accept either one. 1 mark. 6 or 7 are the right answers. Which country's empire contained Bremen and Pomerania in Germany, now Germany, Gold Coast in Africa, Finland, Estonia, St. Bartholomew in the Caribbean, the colonies in North America, and many others. The empire started in 1560 and ended in 1815. Which country had this empire? Question 3. Mountain Dew is in a green bottle, but when poured into a clear glass, its true colour is... What's the colour of Mountain Dew if it's not in the green bottle? Who was the British Napoleonic War leader, just 5 foot 4 inches tall, 1.62 metres? Question 5. Prime Ministers Gordon Brown, Boris Johnson, David Cameron and Theresa May all found 10 Downing Street too small, so they moved into which number of Downing Street did they occupy during their prime ministership? Question 6. Chemically processed white sugar is mixed with chemically processed molasses to make which food? It is thought to be natural, healthy and unprocessed. What's the name of that food? Question 7. Which Ridley Scott cult sci-fi movie starring Harrison Ford as a replicant killer was a bomb at the box office? Very high on the Internet Movie Database ratings. 5, 6. Famous movie. Question 8. Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpening founded a successful electric car company that was taken over by a South African immigrant using his father's emerald mine money. They were forced out. Promises and lies increased the share price. Subsequent car designs failed. What is the car company's name? Question 9. Abraham Lincoln's teeth were not made of wood. They were made of... There are 3 correct answers. I just want one of them. Question 10. Skippy peanut butter is not made in Australia. Skippy, you would have thought No. Some of it's made in America, but if you're in Asia, it's made in what 5-letter country? Hold up your answer sheet so I can swap them around. Walk around swapping sheets. Here's the answers. Panthers and black panthers, they're black types of jaguar or leopard. And when they're first black, they look almost the same. Question 2. It was the Swedish Empire. Everyone forgets that Sweden had an empire, and all those places were in the Swedish Empire. Mountain Dew is actually yellow when in a clear glass. Okay, got to change Q. 3 round 1. Okay, got to change that. It's up the end of my screen. And Nelson was the shorty in the Napoleonic War. Of course, the British press said that the shorty was Napoleon. Question 5. Prime Ministers Gordon Brown, Boris Johnson, David Cameron and Theresa May, they all moved into number 11 Downing Street. They often stood outside number 10 just for the pictures, because that's what the press expect. Oh, brown sugar. Chemically processed white sugar with chemically processed molasses added together, but it does taste nice. Brown sugar is not the healthy option people think. Question 7. Misconceptions. Blade Runner, probably the most famous of the sci-fi movies, was a bomb at the box office. Question 8. Tesla cars. Yeah, Mr. Musk didn't invent the company. He ran it into the ground and is now selling its cars to others of its companies that are all basically funded by the American government. He can't sell his cars anymore. Question 9. Abraham Lincoln's teeth were not wood. They were either human teeth, animal teeth, or ivory, depending on which dentist he'd gone to. He had them all. And China makes Skippy peanut butter. Yeah, read the label, it's on there. Okay, hold up the marks sheets. Round 2, hit songs. 1 point for the name of the song, 1 point for the original artist or most famous artist. Here we go. You're a teaser. You turn them on, leave them burning, and then you're gone. Look out for another, anyone will do. You're in the mood for a dance, and when you get the chance, you are the 7-5. Big hit by 4. Band or singer 4. Yes, I love it when they've got interesting lyrics that nobody ever knows about, and yet they know the song. They sing along, but don't know the lyrics. But it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before the whole human race. I ain't gonna lose. 2, 3, 3, 9. Bye. 5. Get the band. Get the next line. The next 4 words is the title of the song. If you're on your own in this life, the days and nights are long. When you think you've had too much of this life to hang on, well, the band's name is 3 letters, 3 capital letters. And what's the name of the song? I love it when my quiz teams are trying to sing this, so I have to give them lots of time during this round so they can mumble their way through their lyrics and get the next lyrics are the title of the song. I don't know him anymore. There's nothing where he used to lie. Our conversation has run dry. What's going on? Nothing's fine. I'm. Next word is the title of the song by 7, 9 and also by 8. 2 marks. Just need the title and one of the artists. No, you don't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. Guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just one of the ones for the younger members of my quiz teams and my YouTube audience. When I hold you, baby, in my arms, you know I can't do no wrong, and that my love won't do you no harm. Hit me. Many people think the song is 144, and I will give the mark for that. But actually the song's title is 133 by 5-5. One of the ones from the 50s. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. 3-4 by 3-7. And it opened my mind, and I am happy now living without you. I've left you, oh, 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 I saw. From the 90s, that one. 3-4, 3-2-4. Starting from 0, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I've got nothing to prove. You got a 4-3 by 5-7. Pause the video if you're on YouTube. I'm carrying on because I do pause it for my quiz teams. I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so jive. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man, take a walk up the street. There's a place there called the 4 letters is the name of this hit song by 7-6. Here we go. I give my teams a second time round through those with me not reading it out to make it easier for them. When you get the chance, you're the dancing queen by ABBA, of course. Question 2. We are the champions. Queen. When you think you've had too much of this life, hang on. Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. There's Nothing Going On, I'm Torn by Edenswap or Natalie Imbruglia. Spelling is optional. I don't mind if you get a couple of letters, just as long as you've got the first letters and most of the rest. Question 5. Guess I don't need that, though now you're just somebody I used to know. By Goit. I Feel Good. By James Brown. I Got You is actually the title. I will accept I Feel Good or I Got You. Hey Jude. The Beatles. Yeah, if people need a clue, I will sing the lyrics to the best of my ability, which doesn't always help. I Saw the Sign. Ace of Base. Question 9. You've Got a Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Question 10. YMCA. Yep, Donald Trump keeps dancing to this a song about gays? Sung by gays? Doesn't he hate gays? I don't think he understands the song. I don't think he's heard it. He just dances along. It's the only hit that will let him. Dancing Queen. ABBA. Which year? Okay, which year was ABBA? 1977. That's my tie break. Connections. All of the things are connected. A room in the home. There are many rooms in your home, only one of which, I need just one word here. You can't just list all the rooms in the home and then expect me to give you a tick for that. No. One room is the connection. But which one? This question 2, has 2 answers. 2 clues in it. A meaty bet used to kill a vampire. So there are 2 hints to the answer in that one. Question 3. Let's Dance. The singer of Let's Dance had one dark hazel eye and one blue eye. He was David. What's his name? Question 4. It's a dairy product, the same colour as a flying insect. So yes, 2 clues in that one as well. Question 5. The troops that border Germans, French, Italians and Austrians. So you need your European geography for that one. I like a bit of geography in every round if I can. One of the biggest video games earning $12 billion is War. Name that video game. Sitting Bull's position in the tribe without an eye. Yes. So if you know what Sitting Bull's job was, his where he stood in his native Indian tribe, take away the eye, you get the answer. Question 8. Flour, water, yeast and salt baked. What do you get? It's one of the connections. They're all connected. Question 9. 2019 movie that earned $311 million US at the box office with Daniel Craig as a Southern USA detective. 6-3. What was that movie? And the 6 is the connection for this. So it's really helpful. If you know the connection, all the rest are connected. What is the connection? Here we go, going to the answers. Pause it, see it again if you're on YouTube. A room in the home, the one that fits the connection is kitchen. Because the connection is knife. Kitchen knife. Steak knife. Bowie knife. Butter knife? Yes, I will accept butterfly if you got the right insect. Because when agriculturalists got to England, the UK, Britain, it was so much a green desert that there was only one type of butterfly. So the story goes, and it was a yellow one, the colour of butter. Hence, they're all called butterflies. Well, difficult to prove, but it's a great story. The Swiss Army knife. I will accept Swiss or Swiss Army or Switzerland. Question 6. At Warcraft? Yes. There was also Minecraft as well. So there's a lot of craft knife. Yes, for doing craft work. A Sitting Bull was the chief of his tribe. If you take away the eye, you're left with chef's knife. Bread knife. Flour, water, yeast and salt. Knives Out was that very successful movie. Only cost something like 43 million to make. Very successful movie. Daniel Craig with a strange accent, but a great, well-written movie. Great movie. They're all knives. Here we go. I've got the answer sheet. Okay, whoa, I missed it. What percentage of shark attacks happen to men? 80%. Yeah, I think it's more because we're the males are more the idiot side of things. And for round 3, before humans arrived in Iceland, it was over 25% forest and woodland. What percentage is it now? Have the Icelandic people been good to Iceland? No. It's now 2%. So, yeah, it takes a long time for trees to grow on that kind of Icelandic stuff. Continents! So, everything's either answers are Asia, Africa, North America, Antarctica, South America, Australia, Europe. They're the only answers. Some of them have more than one, and some of the answers turn up more than once. I think one of them turns up maybe 3 times. I can't remember. In which continent are reindeers called caribou? I'm going to get a picture of a caribou there if my testers say all these questions are right. Yeah. Question 2. Which continent is the largest? Does help. There's a geography question in each one. Or 2. Which 3 continents have marsupial mammals? Yep, biology turns up a lot in my quizzes because I'm a physics teacher. Yeah, you can't do them all about physics. Which 3 of those continents have mammals where the baby climbs out of the uterus and climbs up into a pouch and becomes much larger in the pouch? Don't have placentas. Question 4. Which continent gets the most tourists? Question 5. In which continent are humans the most genetically diverse? If you look at their genes. Question 6. The largest crocodiles live in the waters of which continent? Question 7. Which continent has the most countries? Question 8. Which continent has the most people? Question 9. Which continent is the highest on average? 2,300 meters. High on average. Question 10. Which continent is the favourite in this pub? So at this point, during the answers, there will be a vote and people will put their hand up once each, please, for which continent they say is their favourite. Based on whatever, I don't know, what beers they like or whether they like going there as a tourist. So I've never done a question like that before, so it would be fun. Swapping the answer sheets. Answers to round 4. Here we go. Reindeer in North America are called caribou. North America has to be North America. Which continent is the largest? Asia, because most of Russia is in Asia and lots of other big-ish countries. Asia is the biggest. The 3 continents with marsupials are Australia, South Africa, and North Africa. Marsupials evolved while those were all connected. There's only one left in North Africa now because the placental ones have taken over. Question 4. Which continent gets the most tourists? It's Europe. Africa, because they've got pygmies with their genetics and Maasai warriors with their genetics. It is the most genetically diverse because they've had the amount of time to get genetic diversification. All the rest of the world, Chinese, Japanese, Europeans, everyone else, Americans, South Americans, they're all related to the Bantu tribe, the one that went from Nigeria, then swept down to South Africa. Question 6. The largest crocodiles live in Australia. I will accept Australasia or even Oceania if people have written that down. But Oceania apparently is a region, it's not a continent. That's what Google says. Question 7. Has the most countries? Africa. Lots and lots of countries. Question 8. Continent has the most people? Asia. Well, China and India for a start. Question 9. Antarctica, because it's all mountains underneath that snowy stuff. Asia is less than half. Asia comes second with less than half because of the Himalayas. There we go. In question 10, well, I don't know. You tell me. And there we go. 10 questions. General knowledge round. 10 questions I repeat. The SS Enterprise was the Star Trek ship, but the USS Enterprise was in 1962 the US Navy's first ever 3 words. I'll give my teams time to do that one. Dividing your weight by your height squared is called your 3 letters. Question 3. Which president announced to the media a 10% tariff on goods exported by the Heard and McDonald Islands that are completely uninhabited except for penguins? So, what are those penguins exporting to the US that this president had a great big sheet of who's going to get tariffs? He wants to tariff those penguin exports to America. Question 4. Not the brightest light bulb in the factory. On the Saturday before March 17th, Chicago dyes their river green. I'm not sure if they still do it. I think someone should stop them doing that. And serve green beer. Because of which special holiday? Question 5. The largest crocodiles live in the waters of what country? Question 6. Thomas A. Swift's electric rifle is more commonly known as 5 letters. Question 7. Zinc, alkalis and lithium are ingredients of which power source? That's one for the chemists and the physics teachers out there. Question 8. Which stout was invented in 1759 and has been doubling in popularity every decade? Which is stunning. Anyway, name a stout. Question 9. Tangerines were cross-fertilized with Asian pomelos to give which fruit? 7 letters. Which German bread type means a goblin or devil fart? Either 6, 6 or 12. I'll accept either way round writing. And here we go. Answers to round 5. The USS Enterprise is a nuclear arms carrier. A nuclear aircraft carrier. A nuclear aircraft carrier, not arms. Silly. Question 2. BMI, your body mass index. But this is a bit silly, this body mass index thing. It does mean an obese person is called obese, and a really muscly person is called obese, because muscle weighs more than fat. Anyway, it's not a very good index. It's being superseded in hospitals by other methods. Question 3. Which president said something and actually had it written down that was quite so unclever? Mr. Trump, not the sharpest pencil. Or nor his advisors or the people that made the table. Anyway, St. Patrick's Day. Yes, because there's lots of Irish in Chicago. Question 5. They import Irish guys to pull the beers, especially in Chicago for this holiday. The largest crocodiles live in the waters of which country? Australia. The Thomas A. Swift electric rifle? First letters. It's the taser. Question 7. Zinc, alkalis and lithium are all in batteries. If you've got old-fashioned zinc batteries, though, don't leave them in things. Because after a few weeks, maybe a month or so, they start leaking, and whatever you've left the battery in will now be horribly sticky and dead. Which stout was invented in 1759 and has been doubling in popularity? Yeah, the only stout most people can name. Mackensen is another one. Guinness. Tangerines were cross-fertilized. I'm going to change the question there. With Asian pomelos to give which fruit? Oranges. Yes, oranges are not the original orange fruit. Tangerines were. And they were made bigger with Asian pomelos. And the pumpernickel, German bread that makes you fart. Well, that's its reputation. Because pumper and nickel, I think nickel is like Saint Nick, the devil, and pumper means fart in German. I got to check that. Someone tell me if I'm right there. Goblin or devil fart. There we go. Tie break. How many James Bond movies was Sean Connery wearing a toupee? There we go. And the answer is all 7. Poor guy started to lose his mop when he was just like 18. And so all of his movies he's wearing a toupee. I don't know how he did the stunts. I don't think he did many stunts. I think a stunt guy without a toupee did his stunt. How many herbs are there in Jägermeister? 56 plant products, which are herbs, in Jägermeister. Wow. Not my favourite. And in 1955 in Italy, Camelia Fedele birthed the heaviest recorded baby boy at how many kilograms? This is one that the ladies are better at doing tiebreaker because the men aren't so good. And also, of course, I need it in kilograms. Otherwise, I can't compare who's got the closest answer so easily. In kilograms. 10.2 kilograms, which is 22 pounds 8 ounces. Yeah. 10 kilograms. 10 big cartons of milk. Anyway, cool.